All right, so you guys shared SM Sazid Arman's Level Up Your Life with us.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a deep dive into Chapter 9, which is called
Unleashing Your Inner Artist.
Yes, Unleashing Your Inner Artist.
Such a good one.
It is a good one. And right out of the gate,
Right away.
Arman is saying that unleashing your inner artist isn't just about painting or sculpting or
Classic, yeah, traditional.
yeah, traditional artistic
A lot of forms.
art forms. He's saying it's about approaching life with the curiosity of a painter,
Yes.
the vulnerability of a writer, or the courage of a performer,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of your actual skills.
Exactly. It's like that mindset, that openness to experience and that willingness to kind of put yourself out there.
Yeah, it's like that creative energy that's kind of inside all of us.
Yes.
Just waiting to be tapped into.
Absolutely.
And he uses all these personal stories, almost like case studies.
Like little vignettes
Yeah.
to illustrate how that can actually play out in real life.
In real life.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, for sure.
So, one that really stood out to me was Maya's story.
Maya, yeah.
She's got this successful, organized life, but
Still feels like something's missing.
yeah, there's this restlessness. She's achieved all the right things, but she's not fulfilled.
I get that. I totally get that.
Totally.
Yeah.
And for Maya, that restlessness leads her back to this old sketchbook.
Uh-huh.
And she rediscovers this passion for drawing that she had kind of
Forgot about
yeah, totally let go dormant. But here's the thing, she doesn't get caught up in
being good.
yeah, needing to be good at it. It's
Right.
more about just that pure joy of expression.
Have you ever felt that in your own life?
Oh, for sure. I think for me, it's when I'm playing music.
Uh-huh.
It's not about oh, am I going to get a record deal from this? It's just that pure joy of creating sound,
That's a really good point.
Yeah. And Maya's story, it shows how powerful that can be to just let go of those expectations and just create for the pure joy of it.
I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm so focused on the outcome of something
Yeah.
that I forget to enjoy the process.
I think that's such a common trap. We get so goal-oriented that we forget about the beauty of the journey.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I love about Maya's story.
Yeah.
That creative energy, it doesn't stay in her sketchbook, right?
No.
It spills over into her work life.
Right.
So she starts coming up with new ideas.
Fresh perspectives.
She's seeing solutions to problems in totally new ways.
It's that creative mindset. It becomes a lens through which she views
Everything.
everything. Yeah.
And there's that great quote from,
Her artist friend, Lucas.
yes, Lucas.
He tells her creativity isn't just about making things. It's about how you approach life.
That's such a good quote.
And it really gets at the heart of what Arman is trying to convey, I think.
Yeah, it's not about the product.
Yeah.
It's about that.
That way of being.
Yeah, and Maya really takes that to heart, right?
Oh, she does.
So she goes to an art retreat.
Immerse herself.
And I think what's interesting is it's not about
Mastering specific techniques. It's
Yeah.
really about embracing that journey of
creative exploration.
yeah, exploration.
Which is something I struggle with, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I keep putting off writing because I feel like I need to take a class or something
Oh, interesting.
before I can call myself a writer.
I see.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And I wonder, maybe you're letting that perfectionism get in the way a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Because Maya's story shows us it's not about achieving some level of mastery before you allow yourself to create.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I should just start writing and see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission to experiment, to play, to make a mess.
Yeah.
That's often where the real magic happens.
Okay, so we have Maya,
Yeah.
who's rediscovering the joy of creation.
Mm-hmm.
What about Zoe's story?
So, yeah.
Her journey was quite different, I think.
Yeah, Zoe's story is more about struggling with expressing her emotions.
Yeah, she feels very disconnected.
Mm-hmm. There's a wall between her and
The world.
yeah, her true self and the world.
And she finds comfort in journaling.
Yes, journaling becomes the safe space for her,
Mhm.
where she can process her feelings without judgment.
Have you ever felt like that?
Oh, absolutely. I think we all have those moments where we feel like we can't
yeah.
express ourselves fully,
For sure. And I think Arman is saying that journaling can help us break through that wall.
Wall, yeah.
I mean, it's like having a conversation with yourself
Mm-hmm.
on paper,
Yeah.
to unravel all those thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
And you gain these incredible insights in the process.
And it's not just about venting or complaining,
No, it's about
Arman suggests using like specific prompts to guide your journaling.
Like what?
Like, what surprised me today? Or like, what am I grateful for?
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and it helps you kind of like focus your attention and dig a little deeper,
I'm going to try those.
Yeah, do it.
But it's not just about processing the negative stuff, right?
No, it's not.
Zoe's journal becomes a place for her to dream
Uh-huh.
and to envision her ideal future.
Oh, envision, yes.
And that leads to a real shift in her.
Her actions.
Yeah.
It's not just about thinking about it. It's about taking those steps to make it happen.
I love that. It shows how journaling can be a tool not just for reflecting, but for taking action.
Totally, totally.
Okay, next up we have Alicia.
Alicia.
She dreams of this life filled with adventure and creativity,
Mm-hmm.
but she feels,
Stuck.
stuck in a rut.
Yeah, she's got that like, I need to break free kind of feeling.
Yes, and her story revolves around the power of vision boards.
Oh, yes. Vision boards, those are good.
So what I found interesting is that it's not just about like slapping a bunch of pretty pictures together.
No.
Arman talks about making it a very tactile experience.
Tactile shit.
Using magazine cutouts, fabric scraps,
Oh, I love that idea.
natural elements.
Ooh.
Almost like creating a sensory experience.
Yeah, it's about engaging all of your senses.
Yeah, and making those dreams feel more
Tangible.
tangible.
Yeah, real.
And for Alicia, it was like a shift in perspective.
Oh, immediately, almost.
It was immediate, yeah.
Yeah, just the act of creating the vision board.
Yeah, her dreams didn't feel so distant anymore.
It's like planting those seeds of possibility in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
And the impact is immediate.
Oh.
She launches her art blog after months of procrastinating.
Love that.
That's so cool,
So
right?
cool.
It shows how a visual reminder
A visual
of your goals.
can be such a catalyst for action.
Yes, that's a really good point.
Keeps those dreams like front and center, especially when life gets busy and those doubts start creeping in.
So we have Maya rediscovering that joy of creation,
Mm-hmm.
Zoe finding her voice through journaling,
Yeah.
and Alicia taking action inspired by her vision board.
It's amazing how all these stories kind of like highlight different facets of unleashing your inner artist,
I love that.
right?
It's not just feel-good stories.
There's like tangible insights.
Yeah.
Strategies that we can actually apply to our own lives.
Absolutely, and that's what makes this deep dive so great.
Totally.
It's not just inspiration. It's about empowering us to make those changes.
You make those changes, yeah.
So as we move on to the next set of stories,
Okay.
keep thinking about these concepts, how they resonate with your own experiences and aspirations.
For sure.
What sparks your curiosity? What makes you feel alive?
What makes you feel?
I'm starting to see some patterns emerging.
Yeah, me too. And I can't wait to see what other insights we uncover.
Me too. But for now, let's take a short break.
Okay.
We'll be back soon with more from Unleashing Your Inner Artist.
Sounds good.
Welcome back. Those first three stories really got me thinking
Yeah.
about my own creative blocks.
It's amazing how much those stories resonate. But, Arman doesn't just stop at the stories, right?
Right.
He actually gives us like these practical strategies for nurturing that creative energy.
Which I love. He calls them creative catalysts.
Yes. Creative catalysts, 10 of them.
10 of them. Okay, so let's dive in.
Let's do it.
What's the first one he talks about?
The first one is embracing curiosity.
Okay.
And it's all about tapping into that childlike sense of wonder,
Mm-hmm.
asking why and how more often.
So it's about being open to new information and experiences?
Exactly. He even suggests like having conversations with people who have totally different perspectives from your own.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's about getting out of your echo chamber a little bit.
Yeah, that's really good. And it doesn't have to be complicated.
No, not at all.
Like that.
Like he gives these simple examples, like try a new recipe every week or listen to a different genre of music,
That's easy.
right? Or even just like take a different route to work.
Oh, I like that. Just
Yeah.
shake things up.
Yeah, just little things to kind of like jolt your mind out of autopilot.
Right out of that routine.
Yeah.
And into like a state of active engagement.
That's where those creative sparks start to fly,
Okay, so curiosity, that's the first catalyst.
Number 1.
What's next?
Okay, number 2 is cultivating mindfulness.
Okay.
This one's all about being present, fully engaged in the moment.
Which makes sense because
Totally.
it's hard to access that creative flow when your mind is just cluttered with worries and to-do lists.
Right. It's like, how can you tap into that creative energy when you're like, I gotta do the laundry?
Exactly. But how do we actually cultivate mindfulness?
Well, he gives a few suggestions, like really pay attention to your breath while you're walking.
Okay.
Or like savor each bite of food during a meal.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or even just like sit and listen to the sounds around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just little things to bring you back to the present moment.
I love that.
Yeah.
Those little moments, they can add up, right?
They do.
And make you more present throughout the day.
It's like training your mind to tune out the noise
Yeah.
and tap into that quiet space where creativity can like actually flow.
Okay, what's the third creative catalyst?
Number 3 is embracing imperfection.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Especially for people who tend to get hung up on needing to be good at things.
Oh, yeah, the perfectionists out there.
Oh, that's so me. I avoid trying new things because I'm afraid of failing or looking silly.
I totally get that.
Yeah,
But Arman, he calls that fear of failure a creativity killer.
it is.
You know, he says we need to embrace the messy middle.
The messy middle.
Yeah, that initial stage of exploration where things might feel chaotic and uncertain.
It's about giving yourself permission to play and experiment.
Yes, without worrying about the end result.
I love that.
You know? He even encourages us to seek out those messy middle experiences
Interesting.
as opportunities for growth and discovery.
It's like, don't be afraid to make a glorious mess.
Exactly.
I love that.
It's so freeing, isn't it?
It is.
It's about shifting your focus from achieving like a perfect outcome
Yeah.
to just enjoying the process of creation.
Okay, on to catalyst number 4. Nurturing a growth mindset. What is that?
So this one is all about believing that your abilities can be developed
Okay.
through dedication and hard work.
Okay.
So instead of saying, I'm not good at drawing,
Uh-huh.
you say, I'm learning to draw.
I like that. It's a subtle shift in language,
It is.
but it can make a huge difference, I think,
Totally. It's about seeing those challenges as opportunities for growth.
which is so important in creative fields, right?
Absolutely.
Where rejection and criticism are inevitable.
Part of the process.
It's about focusing on progress, not perfection.
And that actually leads us right into the 5th catalyst, finding your tribe.
Okay, finding your tribe. I like that.
Yeah, it's about surrounding yourself with people who support and encourage your creative endeavors.
Having a community
A community.
makes such a difference,
It really does.
doesn't it?
It's about finding those people who get it.
Yeah.
You know, who understand the creative process.
And who can offer a fresh perspective.
Yes. When you hit those inevitable roadblocks.
And it's not just about getting feedback.
No.
It's about celebrating those wins.
Yes. Celebrating those wins, big or small.
He also talks about the value of finding mentors.
Mentors.
People who've already kind of navigated that path
Been there, done that.
and can offer guidance and wisdom.
It's like having a map, right,
Yeah.
for navigating uncharted territory.
Okay, are you ready for catalyst number 6?
Hit me.
Okay. This one's called Making Time for Creativity.
Making time for creativity, such an important one.
It is, but I feel like this is where a lot of people
Circle.
struggle.
Yeah.
Life just gets so busy.
It does.
It feels impossible to find time for creative activities.
And I think, that's a valid feeling, but Arman believes that even small pockets of time can be valuable.
Okay.
Like schedule those creative sessions into your calendar.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Treat them with the same importance as any other appointment.
So it's about making a conscious commitment
A conscious commitment. Yeah.
to your creative growth.
Even if it's just 15 minutes a day, that consistency can really add up.
It's about showing up for yourself.
Absolutely showing up for yourself.
Okay, catalyst number 7.
This one might surprise you. It's embracing solitude.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because we usually associate creativity with like
Collaboration.
collaboration, brainstorming,
Right.
but solitude.
But Arman argues that solitude is just as crucial.
Okay.
It's about disconnecting from the external world
Uh-huh.
and creating space for introspection.
It makes sense.
It's in those quiet moments, those moments of solitude,
Yeah.
that we can tap into our deepest creative reserves.
So it's about giving your mind space to wander,
To wander, yeah.
to make connections,
To make connection.
to generate new ideas without all the distractions.
He suggests things like meditation, nature walks, or even just sitting in silence.
Oh, I like that.
Creating a sanctuary for your creativity.
It's about making space for those aha moments to emerge.
Exactly.
Right. On to catalyst number 8. Fueling your inspiration. What does that mean?
So this is about actively seeking out inspiration
Okay.
from various sources.
what?
Like reading, listening to music, attending art exhibits, traveling to new places, or even just having like deep conversations with people.
So it's about feeding our creative minds with fresh input.
Fresh input, new experiences.
He even suggests creating an inspiration bank. What's an inspiration bank?
It's like a collection of quotes, images, articles, anything that sparks your creativity.
Oh, like a physical thing.
Yeah, could be a physical thing, could be a digital thing.
Oh, I love that. It's like a little library of creative fuel.
Exactly.
Okay, ready for catalyst number 9.
Number 9, we're getting there. This one is celebrating small wins.
Celebrating small wins. That sounds important.
It is so important.
It's easy to get caught up in those big goals.
Totally.
And we forget to appreciate the small victories.
Absolutely.
Right.
And Arman says, celebrating those wins, finishing a chapter, learning a new technique, or even just showing up for your creative practice.
Yeah.
That helps build momentum and keeps you going.
It's like fuel for the creative fire.
Fuel for the fire.
I like that.
Yeah.
And finally, catalyst number 10.
The grand finale.
Yes, the grand finale.
This one is trusting the process.
Okay, trusting the process.
And this is huge because, Arman emphasizes that creativity is not a linear journey.
Mm-hmm.
There will be ups and downs, moments of flow and moments of blockage.
That's so true.
And it's in those moments of difficulty that it's crucial to trust the process.
It's not always going to be easy.
No, not at all.
There are times when you feel stuck, frustrated, like giving up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But we have to
trust the process.
Trust the process. Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Trust that those moments of difficulty, there's learning and growth happening.
Yeah, sometimes the magic happens in those messy moments.
He's basically saying, embrace the messy middle, trust your instincts, and keep going.
Cultivate that patience, that perseverance.
The understanding that breakthroughs often come after
the struggle.
The struggle.
The struggle is real, It
is real.
But it's worth it.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
A marathon, not a sprint, yes.
Wow. These 10 creative catalysts.
They're good, right.
They're a gift.
A gift.
A practical roadmap for this creative journey.
I love that. A roadmap.
Yeah.
And you know what I think is so cool?
Right.
These principles can be applied to any area of life where you want to be creative, whether it's writing, problem solving, even just approaching life with a fresh perspective.
I love that.
It's about that mindset.
Okay, before we move on,
yes,
let's do a quick recap of those catalysts.
Let's do it.
Embracing curiosity.
Number 1.
Cultivating mindfulness.
Yeah.
Embracing imperfection.
3.
Nurturing a growth mindset.
4.
Finding your tribe. Making time for creativity. Embracing solitude.
7.
Fueling your inspiration.
8.
Celebrating small wins.
9.
And trusting the process.
10.
Okay, which one of those resonates the most with you?
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's one small action that you can take today?
Yeah. What's one small step?
To integrate it into your life.
I love that.
I'm already thinking about mine.
Me too.
And as we move into the final part of our deep dive,
okay,
we're going to explore another piece of this puzzle.
The puzzle?
Finding and embracing your authentic creative voice.
Ooh, that's a big one.
I know, I'm excited about it.
Me too, can't wait.
Welcome back to our deep dive into unleashing your inner artist. We've explored those personal stories. We've unpacked those 10 creative catalysts.
So much good stuff.
But I feel like now we need to tackle the big question.
The big one, yeah.
How do we find and embrace our authentic creative voice?
Yes. The quest for the authentic creative voice.
It feels a little daunting.
It can feel that way.
Especially if you've spent years doubting yourself.
Yeah, comparing yourself to others, that inner critic running rampant.
Okay, so where do we even begin?
Well, Arman offers this really simple starting point.
Okay.
He asks, what brings you joy?
What brings you joy?
What activities make you feel truly alive? Completely absorbed in the moment.
So it's about paying attention to those moments when we're so engrossed in something that everything else just fades away.
Exactly. It could be anything.
Like what? Give me an example.
It could be writing, painting, dancing, building Lego masterpieces.
Legos, yeah.
Whatever lights you up,
It might not fit neatly into these categories of like art or talent.
Not at all. It could be something quirky, unconventional, something deeply personal.
As long as it resonates with you.
Exactly. It's about what feels true for you.
Okay, so pay attention to what brings you joy.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's that inner critic.
Oh, the inner critic, yes.
Yeah. That voice that says, you're not good enough, or you'll never be as creative as.
I know that voice all too well.
I feel like Arman had some good strategies for dealing with that.
He does. And, instead of trying to ignore or suppress it,
You
That
acknowledge
says acknowledge it, even like treat it with compassion.
compassion for that inner critic.
Yeah, because often it comes from a place of fear or insecurity.
So we're befriending that part of ourselves.
Befriending it, yeah, rather than battling it.
I like that.
And another thing he talks about is focusing on the process, not the outcome.
Oh yeah, the process, not the product.
Because when we get so caught up in needing to create something perfect,
The inner critic goes wild.
it goes into overdrive.
So it's about shifting our attention to the joy of creating, that playfulness, that experimentation,
That sense of play. Yeah.
which I think we lose as we get older.
We do. We get so serious.
Okay, so we've talked about identifying those activities that bring us joy. We've talked about quieting that inner critic.
Well,
What else does Arman suggest we do?
practice, practice, practice.
I guess
He compares creativity to a muscle
a muscle.
that needs regular exercise.
Okay.
So even when we don't feel inspired,
We show up.
we show up. Even when we don't feel motivated,
Yeah.
we make time for our creative practice.
And the more we create, the stronger that muscle becomes.
Exactly. And the easier it becomes to access our authentic voice.
It's like building a relationship
It is. It's like relationship with your creativity.
built on trust and commitment.
And through that consistency, that voice becomes clearer,
More confident.
more confident, yeah.
It's not always going to be easy.
No, there will be times when the words don't flow, the paintbrush feels stiff, those moments of doubt.
But we trust the process.
We trust the process.
And we celebrate those small wins.
Celebrate those wins, big or small.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into unleashing your inner artist, what's the one message you want our listeners to take away?
I think Arman says it best. Everyone has a unique and valuable creative voice waiting to be unleashed.
I love that.
It's about having the courage to explore, the willingness to embrace imperfection, and the commitment to nurturing that creative spark within.
And that creative spark is in all of us.
It's in all of
This has been such an inspiring journey,
It has.
and I hope it's inspired you to tap into your own creative potential.
Yes, go out there, experiment, play, create.
And most importantly,
Have fun.
yes, have fun. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll catch you next time.